So someone angered by the presence of books they don't like in a school went and anonymously complained to police in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, which led to, no lie, a cop going to the school to try to confiscate naughty books. Here's a little bit of the body cam footage.
I don't actually currently see it here, so it may or may not be out.
Have you looked through the book yourself?
I did read it back when it first came out. Yeah. But I don't really recall.
So this is the issue.
Okay.
It's not the general idea of what the book's about. It's you can't present that kind of material to people under 18. So that's our concern. That's why we're here.
Yeah, it's the memoir about coming of age. I mean, you're welcome to remove it if you see it, but I don't see it. So
could it be on a?
It's possible that a teacher has it. A lot of teachers and other people have borrowed it as well. It's not something that is out for everybody, so this is special approval only. So.
Okay. And as far as any of these other books, are there similar images that could be in any of them?
Not that I know of. You're welcome to flip through.
I'm not looking to flip through every single book here.
Yeah, not that I know of. No.
Okay, so look, the book is genderqueer. It has previously popped up in these sorts of stories with right-wingers who have never, ever, none of them have ever read the book, let alone actually thought about it or its place in art and literature. They want to get rid of it because there's images that they don't like. And so we have now gotten to a point where even in a state like Massachusetts, which is, this is not Florida or whatever, cops feel like it is their role to go to schools and try to track down books before kids can see it and thus be ruined. And it's important that they do that because as long as we get rid of these books, then kids will never see anything naughty. And then the kids will be kept pure and innocent until the end of time. So look, there's definitely an element here of the teacher who is apparently LGBTQ sort of being persecuted. They feel targeted in this particular way. That could definitely be a component of this. But Ida, just the general idea that a cop would ever go to a school to track down a book, it feels like something like Margaret Atwood would write rather than a reality that we would live out in America.
I was just thinking Gilead is upon us. It's like we're battling it out between The Handmaid's Tale and Idiocracy. That's where we are at this point in society, which is really sad. But the fact that police officers who are supposed to be solving crimes, protecting Americans, making sure that the children at that school are safe, including those genderqueer kids that may be reading those books so that they can see a version of themselves in it because they deserve to be seen as well. That teacher should feel safe. And the fact that they are, just a self-appointed terrorizers upon the people in this country. Every time we hear these stories about what police officers are doing with their time instead of, and then you hear the politicians talking about the crime rate, which has actually gone down, but you hear them talking about the crime rate, and then you turn the cameras to the people who are supposed to be solving the crimes, protecting people from the crimes. They're out of school, making sure you don't read a book about stuff you can see on the internet, the stuff you can see at home that you're streaming on Netflix. It is just we are just in the upside down. Let me bring in another reference. Let's bring in Stranger Things, because absolutely we are living in an alternate reality, because it doesn't make any sense that, law enforcement would be used to enforce a book ban. It makes no sense, John. You know that it's ridiculous. And we are sitting here watching it happen, and we can't do anything about it. And it's really frustrating. And I know Americans who are really dialed in and know what's happening, who are concerned about their American dollars, where they're paying their taxes, and what they're getting out of it, have to feel cheated at every turn.
Yeah, look, obviously, as we've talked about many times, you cannot separate the drive for censorship among these new parents' rights people from wanting to effectively annihilate LGBTQ culture. And also often like Black writers are also caught up in this. Sometimes there's intersection between that. They're trying to destroy art that they have never had any interest in, have never explored. But then also just on the literacy alone, like, can you imagine if they put half of their energy into trying to get kids to read other books even? Like, we actually have a literacy crisis. There's like really interesting new studies that have come out even just in the past month about how bad literacy is in America. And the chief passion when it comes to parents and books, seemingly, is in trying to root out the naughty ones, which again, as Ida said, you can find way worse stuff on the iPad that your parents gave you and plopped you down in front of for 3 hours. It is not difficult. Like, maybe inspire kids to be curious so that someday they can have a little bit more open-minded like view of the world than clearly so many American parents do these days. This is this is dystopic. Like, this is not sustainable. We have ended up in a really dark place, and it is benefiting certain people. There are very wealthy interests that desperately want all of us to be wrestling in the mud over graphic memoirs while they continue to get away with economic murder at the top.
I just want to say, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say quickly as a parent, I mean, I think, and as an author, the sad reality that I was told by one of the publishers that the average American reads at the 6th grade level. When you say literacy crisis and you put that reality out, now I can't say that it is actual fact, but this came from one of the major publishers. You think about the fact that they are trying to ban books. And I just wrote a book, and some people call my book problematic because of some of the graphic nature in the book, which is some of the stuff that actually happened to me in real life. But I just think that it's really sad when you think about the fact that people are not getting information. They used to say, I remember one of my teachers told me, they used to say, if you want to keep a secret from a Black person, put it in a book, because during slavery, it was illegal for Black people to know how to read. And so you think about how precious it is and how people have had to fight to have this right, and now people are throwing it away. The truth of this is that there's always been an attack on us. There's always been an attack on Black people and people of color in this country, and they just continue to find different avenues to do it. You do yourself a great disservice if you don't read the great Langston Hughes or Maya Angelou, if you don't understand who Elizabeth Allende is. Like, these people are documenting the time, and the people who are writing today will tell this story today, and many of you will be written in history unfavorably, and it's going to be sad the way how dumb we're going to look in the future, because this is definitely our dark ages. Definitely.
I'm definitely worried about that. One of the people documenting the now is Ida. So Legitimate Kid, everybody go check it out, get a copy before the cops take them all, by the way. But yeah, I agree 100%. Like, and by the way, it's not like there's no drive for literacy. Like, for all the issues that a lot of people have with TikTok or whatever, there is book talk, and that is encouraging people to read books. I don't necessarily always like the books that go viral on there, but at least somebody is pushing for it. And words have value. Clearly, the right wing utterly despises books and doesn't want you to focus on them. And then also, as a side note, one of the things that's like salt in the wound is they despise books. They want to ban books. They don't want kids to read or think critically. And then their think tanks buy up books by the tens of thousands written by right-wingers who didn't actually write it and won't actually be read, so that they can create bestsellers out of conservatives, which is the ultimate insult to injury. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.